Hello, my name is Katie and welcome to one of the most fun videos I have ever had the pleasure of filming. So, recently, my good friend Brittany from the channel Literarily Smitten and I decided that we wanted to do a collab video together, and we decided to go with judging books by their covers, in which we each select 10 books for the other and they have to guess what the book is about just based on the cover. This was a hot mess, but we had a really great time and I hope you guys enjoy it too.
I am so nervous about having to guess what books you picked because I know nothing about.
I think most people who watch my channel probably already watch your channel, so at least they're like used to you.
That is true, but
although maybe not my mom's
I
coworkers
don't
will watch my channel.
I'm a straight A 4.0 like student. I don't like failing.
So am I, and I suffered through it. It's fine. And I really did. I went out of my way to pick stuff.
I mean,
I'm not kidding.
Oh my god, this is gonna be.
I was like,
this is gonna be a train wreck.
It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna start you off on kind of an easy-ish one. Well,
easy for who, or is it for whom?
Whom?
I think so.
But I think you'll at least be able to guess one aspect of it, right?
Okay.
Based on the cover and the title. If not, then you live in a different world than I do.
And you need to set the timer for 45 seconds. That's your job now.
I know, I have it. All right. So do I show you the cover first and then hit start?
Yes,
How did you do
it?
Okay.
That's what I was doing.
Okay. We have The Clockwork Dynasty by Daniel H. Wilson.
Steampunk. That's what I'm going with. A clockmaker is doing something, taking over the world domination. I don't know, but there's a clockmaker of some sort or tinkerer type person in a steampunk setting, and there's a heart. What does the heart have to do anything? Is there a romance in this book? Does someone fall in love? You can't keep a straight face.
I'm sorry. You have 4 seconds if you want.
That's all I've got. And I'm not drinking wine, people, by the way. This is ginger ale, just so everyone knows. I'm not tipsy.
Well, I really thought it was wine. That's hilarious. I was like, damn, should get out some white wine or something for that?
No.
Okay, so it is steampunky.
Woo!
Okay, so it's kind of thriller-esque, but also a little bit historical fiction. Okay. Present day, there's a woman. She discovers a secret hidden within these automatons that she discovers. The automatons were created in 1710 in Russia at the behest of the Tsar.
You know I like Russia.
I do like Russia. I do. So it's steampunk, but the heart is just, they have clockwork hearts. And it's actually 2 siblings that are created. Which is why when you said romance, I started laughing.
Because it's definitely not romance. It's for like George R.R. Martin type romance. And then it's a whole other ball game.
Gross.
Gross.
So
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, but also it reminds me of the automaton in Hugo, but that's probably only because I watched that over Christmas. Yeah. Have you actually seen that movie?
No, but I've heard of it.
It's so cute. How have you never seen this movie? Isn't it Martin?
I haven't seen most movies.
I'm just
come on, no.
What? No. Okay.
Where does it? Is it stream somewhere, or do I have to pay for it?
I think I watched it on Netflix, actually.
Okay, I have that.
All right. Book 2, hit me.
All right, book 2.
Oh my god.
Okay, full disclosure, I barely remember what this was about. How Rory Thorne Destroyed the Multiverse by Kay Eason.
What?
Do you need me to say it again?
No. So someone named Rory Thorne. I'm gonna go with a girl, but it could be either way. And I don't really know what a multiverse is, but I'm assuming time travel or something travel between places or worlds or dimensions or something. I don't really know. Is it about a video game? Because that's the only context I have for a multiverse is like a video game. So I don't actually know, but Rory Thorne is destroying it, whatever it is, dismantling the system.
Okay. Rory Thorne is a girl. She is a princess.
Oh, did not see that coming. Okay.
Yes. So what's funny is when you mentioned that it could be a boy, because she comes from a long line of Rorys, but they're all males. However, her father decided his heir was going to be Rory. So that's how she got her name. But then somebody kills her father, and her mother was pregnant at the time and has a boy. So Rory Thorne is no longer the heir, and she gets shoved off into marriage. She has to go travel through interstellar space. So no video games, sorry.
Yeah.
And somebody is trying to steal her betrothed's throne, and she breaks some things.
She breaks some things. Okay.
Kind of the universe, yeah.
Okay.
Or the multiverse.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was weird. Like, for people who like weird sci-fi, like, I don't even understand what was it was weird.
Yeah, I'm still trying to process what all you told me. There's a
Yeah, and then there's like an aspect of like she has what did it say? 13 fairy blessings.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I told you it was weird sci-fi.
How do you go from sci-fi to fairies? Fairies are fantasy. That is a strict fantasy thing.
So it's kind of a blend. Like, it's really weird.
What?
It's really weird. It's really weird.
No. I am a purist. It's either fantasy or sci-fi. You can't mix the two.
Well, she has fairy blessings, and she lives in space.
Wasn't Aurora in Sleeping Beauty given fairy blessings? Is this how
Indeed
the
she
name?
was.
Like,
Indeed she was.
Aurora, Rory.
Mm-hmm. Briar Rose, the thorns.
I'm not seeing any subtlety on that one. not. Definitely not. I don't
know.
think
It's part of a series, and I haven't bothered to continue. So
so that's book 1 in the series? How many books are there in the series?
I have no idea because I haven't looked.
For anyone who's watching, I'm continuing to eat these from my channel.
Yeah, I forgot. We haven't acknowledged that in this particular.
No, there are also carrots in here, so it's not just bunnies. It's gummy
I think
carrots.
that would like skeeve me out a little bit because I don't like carrots, even if they.
It's a gummy bear.
It's weird.
Just shaped like a carrot. Oh my god.
I don't know.
I mean, it's also kind of oddly shaped and could be a little. Yeah.
I was wondering if you were gonna actually finish
No.
the sentence.
I'm just gonna leave it. If
You know I'm leaving this in, right?
If you couldn't figure out where I was going with that, you're probably not old enough to know in the first place.
That's true. That's true. I don't think I'm not a very child-friendly individual anyway, so it's fine.
Proceed.
All right, book 3. I feel like you should at least get some aspect of this. Okay, Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero.
YA about kids and some sort of sea creature or swamp thing type animal creature villain thing at a camp with a dog.
With a dog.
There's a dog or something on that cover.
You You need it closer. Is that better?
It's a dog or a deer that's sitting. I don't know. But something at a summer camp with swamp things and a group of kids who are trying to figure out what the swamp thing is and destroy it and save the camp. That's all I got.
Okay, so it's very adult.
What? No.
It's called Meddling Kids because it's like a Scooby-Doo ripoff. So when they were kids, they had a little detective agency, and you were kind of right because they saw,
oh my god, the dog is like Scooby.
yeah, the mystery of the elusive Sleepy Lake monster.
Well, he got the monster thing.
You did. Okay, so now, and that was 1977. The book takes place in 1990. The kids are adults, and none of them are doing well.
Oh.
And they get back together to try and figure out what really happened. That's some weirdest book I've ever read in my entire life. Weird.
I feel, again, I'm kind of a purist. I'm like, leave Scooby and his gang alone. Like, you don't need a ripoff. Just go to the original.
I mainly keep it because the cover is the most neon thing I've ever seen, and it's so unique on my shelves. So
it reminds me, the colors kind of remind me of the Scooby Gang, like the old cartoon, but also then when they tried to do like the reboot with Freddie Prinze and
yeah, they should not have done
Sarah
that.
Michelle Gellar, when she was like Buffy and she's Daphne. And, like, I'm getting those vibes now that you say it, but I would never have guessed. And the title is very misleading.
They would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling kids. Anyway. That was the other one I thought you might have a shot with.
That's the other one? So I have no shot with any of the next ones.
It depends. One of them, based on the title, you might be able to guess a little bit.
Okay.
Shall we continue?
Yes, I think we should. I'm scared.
Okay. This is well, let's just keep going. The Bulgariad, Volume 1 by David Eddings. There's like 3 books contained in this.
Is that cheating?
No, if anything, all the titles that it lists should help you out. Pawn of Prophecy, Queen of Sorcery, and Magician's Gambit.
I mean, I'm assuming it's a fantasy book set in some world with like a kingdom and a sorcerer, maybe loosely inspired by Arthurian legend or those kind of tropes with a Merlin type wizard and a queen. I have no idea what the title of the actual volume means, and I feel like I can't say it either. I was thinking Bulgaria, but that has nothing. That's not even close.
Oh, the Bulgariad.
Yes. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, our main character's name is Garyon. Anyway, I can't really say too much because that would be giving away spoilers. It took me about halfway through the second book to figure out what was happening. Anyway.
What can you tell me?
Okay, so you're kind of right as far as it's definitely high fantasy. Okay. Like if you were going to guess that any book had a unicorn, it should have been this one. It doesn't.
It's my shot.
It doesn't have a unicorn as far as I know. I can't remember. There is kind of like a Merlin-like figure, so I'm going to give you points for that. I actually feel like I should almost give you a point. There's lots of kings. This is like a traveling type situation. They're going through a bunch of kingdoms. They're trying to get back this orb that is like very powerful, so they can defeat the dark.
Should have knew there was a quest.
There is a quest. But I mean, Arthurian legend, I can kind of see like questing, you know, like
there are quests in that. That's true.
Yeah, I think I can give it to you. But yeah, it was really good. Volume 1 was awesome. Volume 2, I just skimmed because I got.
So are all of the volumes multiple like books? Are they novellas?
They are really short, aren't they? Like each book is like 250
that
pages.
Large. Like I just bought a book that's 3 novels, and it's like that.
I know. Each one's like 250 pages, and And the print's really small. Can you see that?
Oh, that is really small. Why do they do that with high fantasy books?
Don't know, but it
They're
drives
like
me
all
nuts.
really big books, and then it's like teeny tiny font.
Yeah. So like it was good, but it was one of those where like he built the world and he wanted to explore more of the world than the plot required, so it got really tedious.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's a bummer about it being tedious. But
like the first 3 books were awesome. I just wish it had ended after the first 3 books.
could it have ended after the first 3 books, or was it one of those that has like a cliffhanger?
Each book was 250 pages. If they'd have added like 50 pages to each of the 3 books, that would have comprised the last 2.
Man,
So yeah, they definitely could have. But anyway, don't need to rant about that.
Someone did not like this. Someone has something against this series.
A little bit. All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
This is one of my favorite covers of all time. And maybe I have spoken about this. I don't know. Amberlow by Laura Elena Donnelly.
Ooh, that is a pretty cover. I'm going with fantasy, but I'm seeing things that remind me of like Art Nouveau art style. So I want to say like 20s or like turn of the century type world. I'm guessing someone's name is Amber, but I have no idea. There's fire. So does someone have powers that have to do with fire or starting fires? I don't have a clue. What is in the corners of the books?
I think it's just
more fire. But yeah, I'm getting turn of the century vibes, something with fire starters.
Yes and no.
Okay.
1920s steampunk fantasy world, but there is no magic.
Interesting.
So it's just, and Amberlow is the name of the country. Yeah. Okay, I'll just.
What does the fire have to do with anything?
Meet a smuggler, a dancer, and a spy during a decadent era just before a political coup is about to set the city on fire.
It sounds like fin de siècle, anywhere, basically.
Yeah. It was a 3-book series and like really great, honestly, as far as diversity goes. It was fabulous. But yeah.
And this is the first book.
Because you don't often get like fantasy worlds that don't have magic.
Yeah, so what is the like fantasy element of a fantasy world if
it's just set in a world that doesn't actually exist? And it's steampunk, so there's some like technology that doesn't quite exist.
Okay, because I was like, there are plenty of books I've read, like, hello, let's think about this. Princess Diaries, that country does not exist. I wouldn't list that as a fantasy.
No, but they wrote it as though it's just part of our world. Whereas that is like, it's its own thing entirely.
True. Okay.
God, that's what it's classified as.
Okay. What do I know?
Halfway there.
Nothing. I know nothing.
Okay, this one I debated on adding because he's a very, very, very popular fantasy author, so I'm not...
That means nothing to me. You do know that, right?
Well, maybe. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Elantris by Brandon Sanderson.
I know the name, but only because I watch a bunch of fantasy booktubers.
Like that's why I thought you might know it.
Like Becca, I think, was reading this, and someone else, Peru's Project, I think too, likes Brandon Sanderson, but I know nothing about any of the books.
You see that?
Kind of. I see a woman. It looks like it's definitely like a fantasy world, kind of set in like a 19th century alternate verse, maybe. I don't know. Elantris. It reminds me of Atlantis because of the title, but I feel like that's too on the nose. So I don't know.
It's funny because I never really quite made the comparison to Elantris to Atlantis. It's not exactly like that, but it is kind of like this special city that is.
Ew.
How do we? Okay. Elantris was beautiful once. It was called the City of the Gods, a place of power, radiance, and magic. So, kind of. People who don't live, like Elantris is its own little thing, and then there's like surrounding kingdoms.
Okay.
And there's this thing that'll happen called, I don't know how you pronounce it, the Shaud, Shaod. And what it used to do was like imbue these people with the magic of Elantris, and they would go to Elantris to live forever and be amazing. But then like 10 years previous to this, it stopped becoming a like magical thing that elevated you to whatever heights and started being something that essentially was like killing you. And so like Elantris, the city was dying, and when you got hit with this, the people, they would just chuck you in that city because they didn't want anything to do with you.
So it becomes like a leper colony?
Yes. And
It sounds dystopian.
I mean, except it's a totally different world and there's magic in it. They're trying to repair Elantris's magic.
All I'm thinking about is that Atlantis cartoon. Not gonna lie.
That's fair. All right.
Milo, who's like steampunky. I think his name is Milo. Like I love that Milo reference, or just like movies, like child movies.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what fantasy is.
I'm a failure. Oh my god. I'm just gonna eat my Haribo bunnies.
Okay, but you were never gonna guess that. Come on. I was just thinking that you may have heard somebody speak about it before.
Yeah,
but
no, I've heard the name, but I know nothing.
His lesser known works. I think it was like his first book, and it's like one of the only ones that's a standalone, which is why I've read it. I'm not getting into
know what his popular series are about. They don't know. They have no clue. Although I watch all these people who read his books, I couldn't tell you.
I have one of his books somewhere. I don't actually know where it is. Oh, it's up there. Warbreaker. I don't know. I haven't continued because I'm intimidated. They're very long. I don't. All right. Are we ready?
I guess so. I'm failing, but yes.
I think you did about as well as I did so far. So let's just. All right. Incarnate by Jody Meadows.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with some sort of fantasy thing again. I have no idea what the butterfly has to do with anything. Some sort of masquerade ball type thing with a butterfly mask, or someone who has to do with like the wildlife and scampering through the forest, or nymphs or something. Teenage girl. Romance of some sort with someone that she should not be having a romance with. And then they eventually get back together after breaking up because we can't be together. And then everything ends happily ever after.
Okay, so doesn't 45 seconds feel too long sometimes? Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay, well, incarnate, as in reincarnate. It is fantasy. It's YA, so there's a teenage girl.
Woo!
For like, I don't even know, millions of years, the same souls have been reincarnated over and over and over again. They die and they're reborn. So they all know each other, you know, quite well. Well, one day, this girl is born and she is new. So nobody wants her. People are mad because their friend or family member that they've been with for millennia is no longer with us. She's just dead forever. And so she kind of has to navigate that. There is a romance though, and someone she probably shouldn't. Well, it's more that he's not supposed to be in a romance with her. And also it's weird because he's like millions of years old and she's like 16.
What does the butterfly have to do with anything?
I don't remember.
How can you not know what the butterfly has to do? Now this is gonna bug me.
Because I don't know. I think there's some kind of like a symbolic thing with it. It's interesting because she's really into music. So I don't know what the butterfly has to do with it.
Even.
Okay, keep in mind, I read this like 6 years ago.
That's a long time. I'll give you that. I will give you that.
It's a good series. I really liked it, but I haven't read it in 6 years, so it might suck now.
There's always
At the time.
that possibility.
Time it was good. All right, we have 3 left. Are you ready?
Okay.
This is one that
like sweating bullets right now. This is like
channels that I know you watch have talked about this book. I just don't know if you were watching them when they were reading this.
Okay, interesting.
I think I might have talked about it recently. I don't remember. All right, ready? The Unseen World by Liz Moore.
This book does not sound familiar to me at all, so I don't think you've spoken about it on your channel. I see a city that kind of, it's not New York, I know that much. I'm thinking something like Chicago, Midwestern, contemporary, a woman, unseen world. Something is happening that we shouldn't know about. And why are my family so loud right now?
Yeah, I can't hear them.
But I don't know. Contemporary romance type thing. That's all I got.
Contemporary, yes. Romance, no.
Oh.
So the woman, her father has died. He raised her by himself, but he's one of those really awkward genius types. So her upbringing was less than conventional.
Okay.
And once he dies, she discovers some secrets that she never could have imagined he had. And so she's like trying to discover.
Hence the unseen.
It's very sciencey because he was a scientist, but it was very good.
Oh,
I read this in
so where is it set actually?
I don't know. Let me find out. Probably, I would guess Philadelphia.
Oh, that would be,
because that's where the author's from.
Interesting. Maybe.
But I don't actually
I knew
know.
it was like a smaller metro area, but I couldn't figure out which one it was.
Yeah. That's what I'm guessing, because the other book I read by her was set in Philadelphia, and I know that's where she's from.
Okay.
That's why I thought, because I just read Long Bright River by her, and it was in, and so I didn't know if I had mentioned this while I was talking about that book or not.
Maybe, but
I talk about it in an upcoming video, though.
I'm like, I don't remember either of these books, so I feel like it's in a wrap-up that has not.
Maybe. Long Bright River, I know it was in one of my January wrap-ups, which those were very long, so, and it was a thriller, so you probably weren't paying that much attention.
I do watch all of your videos though, but I can't say,
but like
I can't say that I remember this one. It's like, I'm like, oh, there's no chance I'm gonna read this. So I'm like,
several of these are in my underrated reads video that I think is coming on Friday.
Oh, you're sneaky.
Well, it'll be before this goes up, actually.
Sneaky. Yes. Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Hit me.
Nixia by Scott Rankin.
I'm going with sci-fi.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can kind of see it. I'm seeing something that looks like a water, but it's giving me galaxy vibes. So I'm thinking like intergalactic something, maybe a planet with travel to and from different planets or different universes. Nixia, I'm thinking the goddess Nyx, but I don't remember what she's the goddess of. I think it's like goddess of darkness. I think she's friends with like Ares, god of war. But I feel like maybe I got too intense there.
No, I'm actually gonna give you points for that.
I get points? What?
It is sci-fi.
Yay!
Have you seen Avatar?
Yes, I have seen Avatar.
Okay, kind of like that. Where there's a planet and, humans suck and they decided they're gonna take whatever. Well, in the planet's like core, there's this substance called nixia. It's called that because it's dark, like black, and it can be used to manipulate, and you can turn it into like weapons or whatever you want, really, if you know how to manipulate it properly.
Okay.
And this group of teenagers, it's YA, they recruit them because what they believe is that, like, they noticed that on the planet the inhabitants were very good to children and young adults, whereas with adults they would get violent. They also didn't see any children among them, so they've been led to believe that the reason they're so fond of children is because they can't have any more. So that's why they're recruiting teenagers to go mine the nixia, because they feel like they'll be safer. Yeah, a lot of this is like takes place in space, but this particular book is like not quite in space because it's a lot of training on the spaceship while they're traveling. So it's, I don't know.
Yeah, your eye makeup and hair match this book very well. I'm like watching you to be like, this is like the perfect book for this hair and eye look right now.
No, what's funny is that's the first book I selected for this too. I didn't do it intentionally. I don't know.
Sure,
you ready for the last one?
Oh my god.
I went in a very different direction for this one.
Okay. Now
I actually didn't like this book at all.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Ready.
My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing.
Well, I'm guessing some sort of thriller. A wife that murders her husband with a kitchen knife, and someone is trying to solve the mystery behind the murder. And I'm guessing it's not as obvious as it seems, and that it kind of has Gone Girl vibes in some weird way, because I feel like a lot of thrillers ended up having Gone Girl vibes after a while, because they're like, yes, that was a bestseller. They made a movie. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. But which is basically what they did with Harry Potter and Divergent and everything and all of those. So that's all it got.
All right. You're done anyway. So, all right. Here's the thing. I'm going to give some spoilers for this because I can't tell you what it's about without giving spoilers.
Oh, no. Well, that's okay, because I'm never going to watch it. But anyone who's watching this and is intrigued,
now would be the time to mute or something. The wife does kill people, but the husband goes out and finds the people that they're going to kill. They murder together.
Oh. I don't know if I like the sound of this.
And it does have some Gone Girl vibes in that the wife is subtly manipulating everything behind the scenes.
Oh. So who's the good guy in the book if both of them are murdering people? Is there a good guy?
Kind of the dad. He's never actually murdered anybody. He just takes them and gives them up to her. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and spoil the whole thing. The kids are good.
Do they have a major role, or are they just kind of there because you
kind of yes? So
5 kids.
So they have, their 2 kids or whatever, and the husband.
Are they suburban?
Yeah, they're suburban. Okay. So they're like the nuclear family. I'm gonna put this. I should hold it up until I'm done talking in case people are muting this. So, okay, here's the thing. The wife is killing people that her husband doesn't know about because it's not enough for her, like what they agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
And then also she found out he's been sleeping with these women before he gives them to her to murder.
Oh.
So she is furious, and her plan is to kill the husband. But there's a point in this where, like, you find out she's been manipulating things behind the scenes. Like, she's been putting things into her daughter's food to make her sick at opportune times. And, like, anyway, one of the kids ends up killing the mom in the end, so.
Big spoiler alert, people. Big spoiler alert.
And then the dad takes them.
This is not a book that I would ever pick up.
I think the dad ends up taking them to, like, Scotland or something after all that goes down.
Scotland?
They just, like, randomly pick a spot.
And Scotland's the spot they pick.
Yeah.
This sounds awful. There sounds like there's no good person. I'm all here for like the anti-hero, and I don't need to like characters to like a
I already
book.
told you I hated this book.
But this is like extra.
I was not a fan.
Who is sympathetic in this book is what I want to know, because no one sounds sympathetic.
Daughter who's being poisoned.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was intense. It was not exactly what I thought it was going to be either, so that is what it is, I guess.
Oh man. Okay. Well.
Okay. Should we wrap this up? We
yes,
should.
I guess so.
So make sure to go check out the version of this we did on Brittany's channel where she picked the books and I struggled. It was a lot of fun. I will make sure I link that in the description box or whatever I do. Let me know all your thoughts on this video. If you're new here and you liked this, God help you. But subscribe, stick around, and I would love to see you in my comments. I'm sure Brittany would love to see you over on her channel as well. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.